Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Bloodline saga has been an ongoing WWE storyline for over 4 years now. The angle first really kicked off in the latter half of 2020 when Roman Reigns aligned himself with Paul Heyman and then the Usos. In 2024, there was a dramatic shift. Solo Sikoa took over the group. The freshly dubbed New Bloodline saw Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa join the ranks. Eventually, the original Bloodline reunited, and in the end, Roman Reigns won back the Ula Fala from Sikoa. Now, the future of the New Bloodline is very much in question. On SmackDown last Friday, Sikoa couldn't speak and simply walked out instead. Jacob Fatu looked confused and perhaps annoyed. This has led to many fans wondering if maybe Jacob Fatu is tired of Solo Sikoa. If he is, there could be a major coup in the future. The Samoan werewolf might soon take over the New Bloodline. If he does, what could happen? This article will look at several things that could go down if Fatu takes over the stable. Solo Sikoa joined WWE's main roster in the latter half of 2022. He did so as a member of the Bloodline, and soon became Roman Reigns' enforcer. As noted, this eventually led to Solo taking over the group last year after WrestleMania, before losing the right to the Ula Fala just a few weeks ago. While Sikoa has been a heel throughout his entire tenure on WWE's main roster, he is not new to the role of a good guy. While on NXT, Solo was primarily a babyface and fans liked him quite a bit. Of course, his character was quite different. If Jacob Fatu takes over the New Bloodline, it could mean Solo Sikoa turns babyface. He could then shed the suit and the knockoff Roman Reigns gimmick and go back to being the street champion. From there, fans might actually get behind Sikoa again. There could be confusion in the marketplace in WWE right now. Technically speaking, there have been 2 groups running around with the name The Bloodline for the past several months. The New Bloodline, a nickname given to Solo Sikoa's version of the group, and the OG Bloodline, a nickname given to Roman Reigns' stable, are far too similar to coexist. Given that Roman Reigns won back the Ula Fala and the right to be called the undisputed tribal chief, it seems as if the New Bloodline should be the ones to lose the rights to the name. If Jacob Fatu takes over the WWE stable, he might not even want to keep it. He could see the New Bloodline as a failure that Solo Sikoa led, and potentially start a new stable with himself, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, with a brand new identity. Solo Sikoa's feud with Roman Reigns was quite interesting, but some feel as if it was, on the whole, a bit lackluster. While Solo has a lot of positive attributes in WWE, an argument could be made that his in-ring work generally isn't a highlight of his. With Jacob Fatu, that is an entirely different story. The Samoan werewolf can deliver in a main event match, and has done so in various promotions all over the United States. If he takes over the New Bloodline, he could do so again. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu could have a main event level feud that is one for the ages. Fatu is more than good enough to carry his own weight, but he also has an aura that could match Roman's. This matchup would feel completely fresh and exciting. Jacob Fatu's version of the New Bloodline, at least in theory, will feature 3 key members: himself, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. The latter, however, is out due to an injury. This would leave just Tama and Jacob. Thankfully, there's a big recruit Jacob Fatu could bring in to watch his back. Just as Solo was the enforcer and Jacob Fatu became one later, the Samoan werewolf could introduce his own enforcer of the New Bloodline, Hikuleo. Hikuleo is the younger, but much larger brother of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. The former New Japan Pro Wrestling star has reportedly been signed by WWE for quite some time and is awaiting his official debut. His debut could come by becoming the fourth official member of this new version of the Bloodline. The Bloodline has become one of the most iconic factions in WWE history, cementing Roman Reigns as the tribal chief and redefining family loyalty, dominance, and power dynamics. However, with tensions rising and cracks forming in the group, WWE could be preparing for a seismic shift in the storyline. The introduction of Jacob Fatu, a member of the famed WWE wrestling dynasty, into WWE has long been speculated. If Jacob Fatu were to join SmackDown and take over the new Bloodline, it could spark a whole new chapter in the faction's already historic story. Jacob Fatu, best known for his work in Major League Wrestling (MLW), has the charisma, in-ring ability, and family ties to seamlessly step into the world of WWE. His persona as a dominant and unrelenting force would bring a fresh dynamic to the Bloodline, especially if he overthrows Roman Reigns and claims leadership of the family. Here are 4 things that could happen if Jacob Fatu takes control of the new Bloodline. Roman Reigns has ruled the WWE landscape for over 3 years, solidifying himself as one of the most dominant champions in history. However, every reign has its end, and Jacob Fatu could be the catalyst for Roman's downfall. Imagine a scenario where Fatu debuts on SmackDown, initially appearing to pledge his loyalty to Roman. But as the weeks go by, subtle signs of dissension emerge. Fatu could begin questioning Roman's decisions, accusing him of becoming too arrogant and disconnected from the family's values. This could culminate in a dramatic betrayal, with Fatu attacking Roman and claiming that he is the rightful leader of the family. This betrayal would lead to an intense feud between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, with the tribal chief status on the line. A match at a marquee event like WrestleMania could see Jacob Fatu dethrone Roman, not just as the leader of the Bloodline, but also as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This would mark the beginning of a new era for the Bloodline, with Fatu at the helm. If Jacob Fatu takes over the Bloodline, it could create a power struggle with Solo Sikoa, who has been Roman's loyal enforcer. Solo, often described as the silent but deadly member of the faction, has proven himself to be a dominant force in WWE. However, with Jacob Fatu's arrival, Solo's position within the Bloodline would be in jeopardy. Fatu's leadership style might clash with Solo's more reserved approach. The two could engage in a fierce rivalry, each trying to prove themselves as the true heir to the family's legacy. Their physicality and intensity would make for unforgettable matches, showcasing the raw power and talent of the Inoue dynasty. This power struggle could also lead to unexpected alliances. Solo might align with Roman Reigns in an effort to reclaim the Bloodline, or he could shockingly side with Jacob Fatu, cementing the latter's dominance. Either way, the dynamic between Fatu and Solo would add layers of intrigue and drama to the Bloodline story. Jacob Fatu's takeover of the Bloodline would undoubtedly shake up the WWE's roster, creating opportunities for new alliances and rivalries. Fatu's presence would attract superstars who either want to join his reign of dominance or stand against it. Fatu could recruit a new generation of Samoan talent to strengthen the Bloodline. For example, NXT stars like Ava Raine, The Rock's daughter, or other up-and-coming members of the Inoue family could join his faction. This would expand the Bloodline's reach, making it an even more formidable force in WWE. Fatu might also bring in non-family members who align with his vision, creating a more diverse and unpredictable version of the Bloodline. Imagine a superstar like Bronson Reed joining forces with Fatu, adding another layer of intimidation to the group. On the flip side, Fatu's aggressive leadership style would likely alienate many superstars, leading to intense rivalries. Established stars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and even Kevin Owens could step up to challenge the Bloodline's new leader. Additionally, Fatu's takeover could reignite old rivalries within the family. Jey Uso, who has a history of defying authority within the Bloodline, might return to challenge Fatu. A feud between Fatu and Jey could echo the emotional depth of Jey's original feud with Roman, adding a fresh twist to the family drama. Under Roman Reigns, the Bloodline has been about asserting dominance and maintaining control. However, with Jacob Fatu at the helm, the faction could take on a completely new identity. Fatu's persona as a savage and unrelenting force could lead to the Bloodline becoming more ruthless than ever. Instead of relying on mind games and manipulation like Roman, Fatu might adopt a more straightforward approach, using brute force to dominate WWE. This shift in strategy would make the Bloodline feel fresh and unpredictable, keeping fans on the edge of their seats. Fatu's leadership could also see the Bloodline target championships across all divisions. Imagine a scenario where members of the Bloodline hold the WWE, Intercontinental, and Tag Team titles simultaneously, asserting their dominance across the board. Alternatively, Fatu's takeover could be framed as an attempt to restore the Bloodline's original values. Fatu could position himself as a leader who prioritizes family unity over personal gain, contrasting Roman's more self-centered leadership style.